righteousness. I dare not trust the sweetest frame, but wholly trust in Jesus' name. Christ alone, cornerstone, weak made strong in the Savior's love. Through the storm, He is Lord, Lord of all. When darkness seems to hide His face, I'll rest on His unchanging grace. In every high and stormy gale, my anchor holds within the veil. My anchor holds within the veil. Christ alone, Christ alone.
Jane and David, well, the time has come to say goodbye. Joe and I are very sorry that you are leaving, but we fully understand. We shall miss you very much. Your love, friendship and wisdom have been important to us over the years. St Paul's will not be the same without you. Your music talent, David, is exceptional, and Jane, your wisdom is too. Katie and Hannah send their love to you, and we as a family wish you all the best, praying that our Lord Jesus will use you greatly in the future as He has in the past. We send our love and best wishes to you. Take care.
Hello. Right, so many memories of the past 45 years, Jane and David, from being neighbours, next door to each other, church members and most importantly close friends. So we can chat about those when you moved and settled. So what we're doing is we're wishing you every blessing in your new home and your new life in Yorkshire, and that your new house will be filled with health, happiness and the peace of God. Lots of love from both of us.
And over 40 years, there are so many memories we'd be here for hours if we went through them all. But there are certain things that you remember, like our Monday morning putting the world to rights, Mums and Douglas, and your piano twiddly bits in the hymns. So they're things that I should remember. But we will see you when this COVID's over anyway, in Yorkshire.
Hi David and Jane, we just want to wish you all the best with your move.
Thank you ever so much for everything you've done for us.
And David, I would never have been able to sing at places like I have if it wasn't for your support. So thank you very much.
All the best for the future.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello Jane, hello David, hello Chris. Jane, we've been friends for over 40 years, since you moved near to us, when our girls were very small. The phrase I'll always remember, Jane, is "Are you free?" when we used to pop to each other's houses to have coffee and put the world to rights. Good friends needn't live close to each other, as we shall still see each other regularly to carry on our friendship. Terry and I wish you all the very, very best for your move to be close to family. God bless you all and safe journey.
Hello David and Jane. Well, I wish you the very best blessings God can give you on your move to Yorkshire. I know I haven't known you very long, but in the time I have, it's been a privilege. Thank you, David, for each week you sent me the music to listen to, so I can listen and praise God. And I'll thank you for that, David. And I'm sure that you will have everything you need in God's journey. Stay on the path and God will keep you safe. Bye for now.
Well, the day has nearly arrived for you to leave sunny Sedgley to destinations new up north. What can we say but...
We
will miss.
You.
You are such a big part of the St Paul's family, serving the Lord you love, and you'll be greatly missed by all. I will miss you, Jane, for our chats about cath kits and bags, and of course the greyhound pooches. And David, you're such a wonderful worship leader. You have a true gift from God. We will miss you both for your warmth and love you show to all. And Jacob has a little tune to play for you both.
David and Jane, we're going to miss you so much, and we just hope that you have an amazing time up there being close to your family. And we, your friends, are going to miss you so much. Your church family are going to miss you so much. What do you want to say, Naomi?
Have fun walking your doggies.
And it was great to meet you both. We will miss you so much, and I always remember the first time you came to St Paul's and Naomi was little and she went through your handbag, Jane. That was hilarious as I was trying to stop her. And I just wish you all the best and have fun up there with your family and take care and God bless.
Yeah, God bless you both so much, and we are going to miss you. Thank you for welcoming us into your family and the church family. So God bless you as you go. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, David and Jane. Just a quick message from myself to wish you all the luck in the world with the move, and praying a blessing over you both. David, it's been a pleasure and a honour to play in the worship group with you. Thank you for teaching me so much, and I'm really gonna miss you. So good luck, and I'll be praying for you both.
David and Jane, I'm going to miss you very much, having known you for many, many years as Christian friends. However, I know your desire is to be near to your family, so I pray God will bless you in your new abode. Amen. God bless you.
Well, David and Jane, what can we say? Thank you so much for all your service over the years. You've done so much that we couldn't even fit everything that you've done for us as a church and for us as an area, for your family and friends, for everybody around. We can't even fit it all onto these videos. We can only begin to touch what you've really meant to us, what you've really done for us. I know I've only known you as a few years, but I just want to thank you so much for how much you've inspired me and my family, how you've welcomed us in, how you've made us so much a part of the church family. We're so welcomed, we're so loved by all of you. I just want to thank you so much for what you've done in your leadership, in your inspiration, in your counsel. David and Jane, you both have been amazing, and we couldn't thank you enough. I just want to encourage you with a simple thought. No matter how long you're away from us, you're always going to be part of our family. You're always going to be part of the St Paul's family. So don't ever be a stranger. Don't ever stay away. Don't ever feel like you can't get in touch with us about anything, because we are your family, the church family. We know you've moved to be close to your physical family, but we are your church family, and we will always love you and always know that you've been part of the furniture for many years. God bless you, God keep you, God make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. God lift up his countenance upon you and give you his peace. Thank you so much. Thank you. And God bless you. We hope to see you soon. Don't stay away too long, and you know you're always welcome in St Paul's. God bless.
Jane, David, we trust that this little message finds you well. We don't know whether you're here or there, and you probably don't either. But we'd just like to say a few things that are completely meaningless, but it might find as a source of amusement to you in years to come. So the first thing I'd like to say is that from my childhood, my earliest memories of you were obviously as my piano teacher. And I do remember you telling me off for messing about with my nails. You must have been awake at that point, and only probably you and me will understand that joke. And I'd also like to remind you of the lesson that we had in Dormston when you taught us about the piece of music called the Sloop John B. And I blew my nose halfway through. And you said an interesting contribution there from Mr. Littlewood on the nose flute. And things like that stick with you. And I don't know. The only other thing I'd say is perfect cadence. Never understood it, never will, but I think it's got something to do with the people that look after the UK gas network. Good night from me.
David, Jane, just wanted to say a great big thank you for stepping in to help with the toddlers all those years ago. We did make a good team along with Harry and Carol and Francis, and we kept that group going. It's a shame it's had to close down, and I'm not sure how and when it's going to open back up again, but we really will miss you when that time comes. Also, I'd like to say thank you for all the many years of house groups. We've gone through many laughs, tears,
Cakes.
frustrations, food. We've had such good times, and we'll always remember those times, especially your Jackie Potatoes, Jane. You will be remembered for those for many years to come.
Thank you for stepping in TNT when there was no one else to do it and keeping it going.
Amen.
Amen.
Jack?
Thank you, David and Jane, for just being you and coming to church and just doing everything for TNT, like Sam says, and you will be really missed by all of us, and we'd hate to see you go. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So all the best. We wish you all the best, and God bless. And a word to end from Kerry from Psalm 33.
Psalm 33, verses 20 to 22. We put our hope in the Lord. He is our help and our shield. In him our hearts rejoice, for we trust in his holy name. Let your unfailing love surround us, Lord, for our hope is in you alone. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you
for the keyboard, David, as well.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you, David. We're going to miss you so much.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Jane and David. Wow. So many different memories over so many years. It's hard to know where to begin. First of all, forgive me if I have to keep referring to my notes, because there's so many memories, so many things to chat about that I'll probably forget them if I haven't got them written down. Jane, we have known each other all of our lives, so 67 years really in total. We were both brought to church, as you know, as young children, babies in fact, and we attended church and Sunday school right from our very earliest days. Not so many photographs taken in our early days. I know you have memories, good memories of us being in church together. I don't have many of those memories, but I do remember a few things. I remember Uncle Walter bringing your horses onto Robert Street School playing field one summer, and he brought the horses, and I really enjoyed riding on them. That was a real highlight for me. I also remember, as I was older, perhaps in my teenage years, remember playing the piano in the Sunday school, and I remember it was you or Auntie Betty who led the Sunday school. You also did a fabulous job organising Sunday school coach trips. and both young and old used to come, and we used to have a fabulous time. I remember Drayton Manor Park, I remember Gulliver's Kingdom, and then we also went to more local spots. We went to Kinver and used to take picnics, and we went to lots of other places too. So thank you for all that, all the effort you put into organising all of that. Your house and your beautiful garden at Catholic Lane hold a very special place in our hearts. The memories that I know you must have loads, but for us it was a fascination really to be able to come and share in your garden and your home. And I know that myself and especially my children were fascinated by the fact that you had so many different sorts of animals. You had guinea pigs, cats, dogs, puppies, horses. We'd only ever ventured into owning cats, so anything beyond a cat was absolutely fascinating to us. So to visit your house was an absolute joy. I clearly remember Laura and Kate being thrilled when we went one day and your dog, I can't remember her name, had puppies, and I've got a picture of Laura and Kate holding these puppies. I also remember you organising a bonfire night party at Catholic Lane, and a great time was had by all then, I remember as well. The Christmas parties obviously happened every year, and sometimes they were held at church down in the crypt, which looked nothing like it looks now. Either that or they were held in the Scout Hut, but they were always a highlight. All ages took part, and we had a wonderful time. Pilchard sandwiches were a massive, important part of those parties. And one particular event I remember just before the Christmas party was that you and I decided that we should go into Wolverhampton because we needed to help Santa with getting the presents for the children. And so you and I drove into Wolverhampton, and I drove onto the Manda car park to find a parking space. And suddenly you let out an ear-piercing shriek. A spider had dropped from the roof of my car. I don't know whether it landed on your lap or where it landed, but it was enough to frighten you to death. And I nearly crashed the car, needless to say. Fortunately, all was well, so no worries. You always did a fabulous job conducting the Sunday School anniversary, and I know that it was something that you didn't do lightly. I know it was something that you would rather not have done, but you did it brilliantly. And with David on the organ and the piano, you both always made a wonderful team. And so thank you so much for all the effort that you put in over those May and June days, with practicing as well, perhaps twice a week, all the rehearsals. Thank you so much. You may also remember that we met up most years after the repetition services. We used to go to each other's houses and have some food and a good chat, and that was on the Sunday evening after the reception, the repetition services, should I say. We met at Carol's and Daft's and mine, and it was a great time, just all being together and just all celebrating. And I remember as well, when you used to come here, you used to pour over photograph albums. I'm sorry about that, but I remember I've got pictures of people sitting and looking at the albums, and that's clear in my memory. Our Mosul days, of course, will always have a very special place in my heart. So very many happy memories. Lunch every Sunday at the Lobster Pot, followed by a walk to try and walk down the wonderful lunch we'd just had. Eating naughty ice creams, beach days at Porthcurno, horse riding, services at the Methodist Church, evening get-togethers at different cottages, enjoying cheese on toast, the lifeboat services on the harbour, Jonathan waving and shrieking goodbye as you left to go home on the final day, and we stood on the harbour wall waving. Such happy memories, such laughter, and such wonderful times together, and we thank you for that. I also remember that Aunt and myself, with Mac's dog, enjoyed our time with you when we stayed at the Britannia Inn in Elterwater. You were there, you were both there with Chris and Charlie, your dog, and we were staying in a self-catering property. No, you were staying in a self-catering property, we were staying at the Britannia Inn, and I remember you came down to the Britannia Inn one night and we had a meal together, and that was lovely. Jane, your medical expertise over the years has been something that we have come to rely on, and it's been so much appreciated for a huge range of medical needs. Also, the bond, Jane, which you shared with your parents and your wonderful care of them, especially Uncle Walter during his final days, is one that will always stay with me. Ant and I were privileged to see your dad the night before he passed into glory. Your love and care was truly wonderful. Together, we have shared many experiences over the many, many years we've known each other. Some of them have been happy memories, some of them have been sad, but we've supported each other through prayer and through just being there, just to be a shoulder to listen. Right from when we were children, right through teenage years and on through our marriage years. Thank you for always being on hand with advice and words of wisdom whenever it was needed, especially during those difficult days. I personally want to thank both of you, Jane and David, for all your years of faithful service at St Paul's. David, for your leadership over very many years, and especially when we've been between pastors, and for your outstanding musical talents, which have blessed so many of us and have played a huge part in helping us to worship, and for all of that we are thankful. Jane, for all the ways in which you too have worked for the glory of God, very often perhaps stepping out of your comfort zone, and yet doing it for the glory of God, and always being a wonderful support to David. And both of you together created a wonderful team. God bless you both for that. You will both be very greatly missed, but friendships don't end, though miles may separate. In these days of technology and phones and computers, there will never be a reason not to stay in touch. I'm sure both Ant and myself wish you very much happiness in your new home. It will be so wonderful for you to be able to spend quality time with your family, especially your grandchildren. You have many more special memories to make in Yorkshire. Enjoy every minute. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you both and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you his peace.
Hello.
Hi.
I can't believe you're actually moving up here. I know it's going to be difficult to move away from the people and church and the house and the garden and the area that you've known for so long and that you've loved for so long. But we really can't wait to have you up here. It's the first time I will have had you nearby since I was 18, and I've got no idea how many years ago that is, but it's certainly more than half my life. So these two are pretty excited about you coming up, and it'll be great for you to be able to spend some time with them and with Helena and I. So yeah, we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Hi Dave, it's Derek. I've been trying to think when we first met each other, and I can't actually put a date on it. I think it may be when the Gornal lot did come together, maybe not. But I have some great memories of working together, particularly I guess at Roadshow when we probably involved in changing the way music was played in churches in the Dudley area. Having said that, I asked Jane and Richard what they thought and what their memories of you were, and so I'm just going to read them out for you because Bev and I have done another thing which you will get. Richard said, Mr. Music. He conducted the class from behind the oversized desk of his studio. The only music teacher I know to have a student band named after him. I mostly remember his passion for his subject and his expressive yet casually drawling voice, like a musical cowboy. Not a teacher anyone forgets. And then Jane said, there is only one way to describe Mr. Langford the teacher. enthusiasm personified. There aren't many people who could get a class full of disparate youngsters, complete with wildly varying taste, ability and desire to be in the room, making music together in relative harmony, but you always seem to succeed. Your passion for all things musical was always obvious and contagious. When Dormston D Block was built with its custom music room, you were like a kid let loose in a sweet shop from having so many shiny new toys at your disposal, especially the hallowed recording room. And I don't think there was any kid I knew who didn't notice. Yes, we used to joke about it sometimes, but we respected it greatly, even if we never let on at the time. I know there were several in my year who would never have considered taking music at GCE before meeting you, and I certainly wouldn't have done anywhere near as well without you. There is one point on which we still have to disagree though, sir. Stairway to Heaven is never going to make it onto my playlist. Sorry. Incidentally, I'm pretty sure that right now you're rolling your eyes at me as you've been trying for years to get me to drop the pupil teacher honorifics and call you by your first name. Sorry, sir. Old habits die hard. But just this once, thanks, Dave. You were and are one of the most inspirational music teachers any student of any age could hope to have. And Jane, so long and thanks for all the guinea pigs. Blackie, Bubble, Squeak, Rag, Muffin the first and Muffin the second. Enjoy your new home. You will both be missed.
David and Jane, the time has come to go, and as a church how we will miss you so. But there's one thing that we want you to know: we send you with our love. Thank you for friendship whilst in Gornal here, for faithful service to us year by year. But while we'll miss you, we'd make one thing clear: we send you with our love. The time for planning and for waiting's past, and you are ready to move on. But memories that we have of you will last long after you have gone. So Jane and David, as you go your way, which for us here is such a sad, sad day, there's just a final thing that we would say: we send you with our love. We send you with our love. We send you with our love.
Hi, David and Jane. Well, it's difficult to know where to begin. I'm reading a few notes. I hope you don't mind that. David, you and I have known each other for best part of 60 years because we started at High Arkle together. We were acquainted then, but we were in different classes and we had a different circle of friends. So didn't get to really know you that much better until I started going out with Synth and attending St Paul's. So I guess that was probably around 69, 1970. Anyway, by 1975, you were our best man at our wedding, so we must have got to know each other quite well by then. I'm just going to concentrate on a few things that come to mind. So many more things, if truth be known, but time is an element here. I start with obviously being on my best man. I remember at the time I was quite nervous, but you were very, very calm, and as a result, everything went very smoothly. I do remember us leaving I think our Mini in your garage. Now I can't remember whether that was Langland Drive, probably Langland Drive, so that nobody got at it. But that's obviously a very important part in Cynthia and my life. I want to concentrate a little bit on the Mousehole years. We went there 5 or 6 years with you. We started going, but I think when we went to Newquay one year and we visited you down in Mousehole, and we had a wonderful time and loved the place, and sort of asked if it was okay if we could come down as well when you went down the following year, which you agreed, and it sort of blossomed from there to the point where it's not just our families, but there was from time to time it was Daphne and Graham, and also Joy and John, and obviously Jill and Ron, and also Uncle Jeff and Auntie Beryl. Auntie Iris, sorry, I'm getting mixed up with that. Sorry about that. Uncle Jeff and Auntie Iris as well. So we had a wonderful few years with you. Just a few memories. I think I've shared this one with you before about the about the cave, over the rocks. I don't know how you found that, but I do remember going along there a number of times. I do recall there were a couple of tricky parts, but we were much lither in those days, and it didn't seem too difficult for us to get round there and look at the seagulls and them looking at us. I remember also, obviously, the lunches at the Lobster Pot, which you used to book, and we had some wonderful times there. And very often after that, we'd go for a walk to Lamorna and back. Other things I remember was the barbecues on the beach. Also swimming at Porthcurno, you introduced us to that. I remember, obviously, we all remember Cyril and the talks we had with Cyril, the car park attendant, and his dog, and his wife. In fact, we joked, I think, Adam and Jonathan used to say, "Oh, it's Cyril, and there's Cyril the dog, and there's Mrs. Cyril." We all had a good laugh about that. Also, I remember us watching Nigel Hallard painting on the quayside. And I didn't realise at the time Nigel Hallard came from around here and moved down to Mousehole. I remember the Sunday services. We went to the Methodist Church, and the talks we had about the Penley lifeboat disaster. Also, the lifeboat services on a Sunday, which we used to go to, and on the quay, and the lifeboat used to come in. Other things, oh yes, the horse riding. Yes, we all remember that, don't we? I think when you introduced us to horse riding me for the first time, and my horse decided it didn't really want to stay in line where it was and wanted to pass everybody else and get to the front, and I couldn't find the brake, so that sort of put me off horse riding for quite a while. In fact, it still has. So I was far happier after that, just looking after Charlie. Other things, I think, yes, when we were used to arrive, I think we used to go to Pam's Pantry for breakfast the first day, as well as other times as well. And the other thing that I remember particularly is when we all used to go on the last day and drive around the harbour and out by the Coast Guard, and Jonathan used to sort of shout out the window, "Bye!" So, excuse me, a lot to think about and lots to remember about Mousehole. I think the other thing I just want to talk about, as I remember, is our quartet at church. Me joining you and Jane and Becca for those songs that we sang at the Christmas service on the evening. I must admit, I don't recall all of them. The two I mainly recall at the moment is While Shepherds Watch Their Flocks by Night, to the tune of Ilkley Moor Partat. Was that a bit prophetic, David, being Ilkley Moor in Yorkshire? I don't know, because it must have been about 2015, 2016, maybe earlier, I don't know. And the other one I liked, my favourite I think, was Gaudete Te. I knew that song from Steel Eye Span, with Maddie Pryor singing it from years ago, and always loved hearing it at Christmas time, listening to Classic FM, where they did a variety of different versions of it, not Steel Eye Span, but sort of choral versions of it. I personally prefer the Steel Eye Span version. I know, Jane, you got a bit cringed a little bit when David suggested we sing it in the style of the folk singer, the nasal style. We had a laugh about that. The other thing I remember, Jane, is the fact I think you and I would have preferred the song to come a little bit earlier in the service, so we could enjoy the rest, whereas generally speaking it came towards the end before the message, so we're all both, I think you and I, a little bit on edge about that. Other things, many things obviously, but as I say, time is of the essence. You remember me walking Benji? I think I've been made redundant, and for something to do, I walked Benji, or rather it was the other way round. He walked me down the road, but it was a great help coming back up Catholic Lane. Also visiting Catholic Lane, as we have done very recently, and that garden. I also remember it's obviously a sad time for me and Synth, but you were very strong for us when you came and helped us with Max when he died and took him down the vet, and such great friends at that time. Very sad time, because it's the first time I'd experienced that since I was a lad, of losing a beloved dog like that. Anyway, well, there are obviously many more memories, but we only have a certain amount of time. It'll be strange that you're both not being here in Sedgley and Gornal and St Paul's, but obviously it's good for you because you're going to go be closer to your children and your grandchildren, which is so important. I just want to thank you for everything that you've done. We hope to see you again soon in your new home in Yorkshire. God bless you both.
Hi guys, hi Jane, hi David. Just a quick message to wish you all the best in your new home.
Yeah, hi, both of you.
I've been thinking about, old times like you do at this stage of our lives. And for David, I remember very, very fondly the days of the 3 Gs. You, me and Boss Perkins going to Sledmere, Arthur Parks' church, and singing at their youth meeting. I think it was a hymn or whatever, called He Could Have Called 10,000 Angels. And we thought long and hard about the name, and we thought guitar gospel group, which is what we were, was a bit kind of naff, so we called it the 3 Gs, which is no better really when you think about it. The days at St Paul's as well, working in the Sunday school, good fun, eh? And then Jane, the days where we grew up together, riding the ponies, staying overnight at your house, cushions over the door so that when your dad came in first thing in the morning to wake us up, he got hit on the head with a cushion. Learning the facts of life in the fields with the stallion and the ponies there, making hay, working hard, and then lying in the hay just in the early evening, going to the horse shows, such brilliant days, very fond memories. So you're off, you're away at some stage, I gather, when it all gets sorted with these jolly solicitors. We wish you all the best. God's blessing in your new home, in the new area, and pray that God will use you mightily with the people and new friends that you make up there, and with the family, of course. So thanks for all the memories, and God bless you both.
Yes, and I'd like to just add, I was remembering, because I only knew you when I came to St Paul's first, and we got married, and that's my my best memory of you, really. With the advice that you gave us as newlyweds, that was very welcome and very graphic, but very, very useful, and like how the when we had our children and we used to the kids used to come and play together, and with Cynthia and their children, and that was just such a very precious time, really, with as young marrieds, that we were just able to benefit from your advice.
Yes, thank you very much. From the bottom of my heart, our hearts, and we probably still practice today. So there you go. Probably too much information. So we'll say cheerio, all the very best, and God bless you both. Bye now. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Hi. I just want to say hello to David and Jane, and wish you all the best for your new adventure, the new phase of your adventure with God, and just assure you that He will be with you. Picking out memories is difficult because I worked alongside you for so many years, and I suppose the things that stand out most in my mind are doing Sunday school work together and taking the kids out to the swimming baths and Kinver and places like that in the summertime. I remember practices for anniversaries and for Christmas things, and just generally the times, particularly that I worked with David in trying to produce the music to use in the church. I just want to say that I feel I want to encourage you to enter into this new phase of life with the thought that not only is it just the next phase, but there's no reason at all why it should not be the best phase of your lives. So I want to say, please go with an open heart. Be ready to perhaps do things you have not done before, because God wants to use you. God bless you. Take care.
Hi David, hi Jane. Thank you everyone for allowing us to just take part in this quick little tribute to the Langfords. David and Jane, from me, I would just like to say you have both blessed me so much over the years, knowing you when we were at St Paul's, and then since, as we left and then came back in different ways. Every time I come to preach, I love to see you both there. David, thank you so much for your very anointed, wonderful, incredible worship, leading the worship. And Jane, you've just always been there, doing what you need to do, and just been a real stable influence at St Paul's. It really, really will not be the same without you. I can't imagine coming and you won't be there. It's quite sad, but we're very happy. We're very glad for you that you're going somewhere else and that you'll be with the family. I just want to say you are a loss to St Paul's, but you will be a great blessing to someone else at another church. So we pray and we wish you both so well. We wish you many blessings in the future and have a wonderful, wonderful time. God bless.
Well, David and Jane, I've known you for something like 25 years, which makes us all feel old, really, I suppose. But it's been great to know you both over the years in many different ways, and especially as we think of St Paul's and the great times that we've had there together. And I just thank you both for your great encouragement, and you've been a real blessing into my life over the years. And as Mandy says, you know, we're very happy for you to be going, but really we're sad as well. It's a bittersweet moment. That you're leaving the area, and you know, we've got mixed emotions about that. But you know, we really want to pray God's blessing upon all that you go to with your family, and there's no doubt we'll miss you. But you know, may the Lord really bless you and keep you and make His face shine upon you and all that you do. And hopefully we'll hear from you and keep in touch some way over the coming months and years. But God bless.
God bless. Bye.
Bye.
Well, Jane and David, I cannot believe after all these years and all this length of your family times, you're actually moving away from Gornal. Wow, that's going to be a shock. Moving away from Sedgley, moving away from Gornal, moving away from St Paul's. But myself and him indoors here, just wanted to send you a few words just as you go off on your new part of your life, to be with the family and the grandchildren. Where you're going now?
Farmers and sheep.
Yes, farmers and sheep, yes. Lots of walking potential over the fells, and oh, very nice. So I'll start off, because I thought I'd talk a little bit about some of the things that I remember about, first of all, your parents and their involvement in our parents. I know that each got a connection to one or both of your parents, Jane. My mum in particular with Auntie Betty. She was, I think Auntie Betty was one of her best friends, and I was forever getting stories told of when they used to meet on a Wednesday for the ladies' class, and the fact that I think she used to love the fact that they'd get locked in into the building, and they could chat about all sorts of things when they were on their own. And my mum was always saying how, you know, your mum was absolutely, you know, so funny and so cheeky about things, and I think my mum liked that. So she always looked forward to those meetings and any time that she could spend with your mum. And then with your dad, obviously your dad and my dad were both in the Navy, and my dad used to relish meeting up with your dad. If he'd come down and they'd chat about the Navy, they'd chat about all sorts of things. You know, your dad would go to Bridgnorth Market and he'd bring things back from his dad, or he'd encourage him to get chickens and all sorts of things. And then in the latter stages, my dad used to come up and visit your dad, which I know he didn't find easy, but he did. And again, I think your dad, Jane, was my dad's best friend, or one of his best friends. And then it just seems to have, it seemed to have trickled down after that with you and David. That you both were visiting our parents, sorry. And I know not so much my mum, because she was still independent and able to go out, but my dad, he loved people to come and visit him, people from church, but in particular David, to come and talk to him about old Gornal times. And sometimes if I was there, I would just say, I'm going upstairs or I'm going out. It was the same stories again and again and again, but my dad loved it. So it's sad that you're leaving the Gornals and all that's attached and wrapped up with that. and I'm glad for you that you're going and you're going to be with your family. But I'm equally glad that you're going now, not when my mum and or dad were around, because I think that would have been very difficult for them. So, you know, just all the best while you're up there, and come back and visit, and try not to get into too much strife up there with the locals. And I hope you find a nice church up there and you're actively involved.
Well, Jane, David, if you're on your way soon, all I ask is when you do come back to visit, you don't come back with a Yorkshire accent. All right? So, enjoy yourself up there. I was thinking about, just before doing this, about your dad, Jane, when he had his ponies at the bottom of the garden. And on this one particular occasion, my Auntie Dorothy came to have a look, and this one mare had a foal. And Uncle Walter, the last thing he said to her, don't walk behind the mare, because he's very protective of the foal. So what did my Auntie Dorothy do? Walk past the back of the mare, and consequently the mare kicked out, and my Auntie Dorothy must have gone 6 to 8 feet across the ground.
In the mud.
In the mud, with a big dent in her leg. Yeah, but there were many things, like when we went with your dad and you, Jane, and I don't know who else.
Hello, Becca and Dave here in County Durham, and we're very soon going to be welcoming Ma, Pa and Chris up in this direction to North Yorkshire, about 50 minutes south of us. We're so happy that we're going to be able to see more of them again, as we have missed them so much since we moved up here 2 years ago. It is going to be so wonderful for Ma and Pa to spend much more time with their grandchildren, Elliot and Lynette, as they grow up, as well as with Jonathan and Helena, as Dave and I have been able to since we have been up here. These are exciting times for us all, but we also know this means that some of you are disappointed and sad, though fully understanding. Here are my memories of and tribute to Ma and Pa in their services to God at St Paul's Church, Lower Gornal, as they leave for the north, including a little bit of the history of our family at St Paul's. Ma and Pa, otherwise known to the rest of you as Jane and David, have been a part of St Paul's Church forever. Jane was there from a few weeks old with her parents Betty and Walter Hooley, and grew up with sisters Jill and Joy in the family church, and has been there all of her life until lockdown this year, 70 years. St Paul's Church was founded and built in 1891 by Betty's ancestors, along with a number of other faithful Lower Gornal men, maybe related to some of you, whose names can be seen on the plaque at the back of the church. Jane, a painfully shy child, frequently had to be taken out of services and Christmas parties due to her fear of certain people and Father Christmas, and she was terrified when first put onto the Sunday school anniversary. David married into St Paul's Church and soon inherited the organ after Mr Perkins and Uncle Harold Hartill. David had grown up in Himley Road Methodist Church with his twin sister Kath and older brother Peter, taken by their parents Stan and Reedy Langford. From an early age he was put on the anniversary platform along with Kath, and he was, as a young man, given the role of rehearsing and conducting the Sunday school anniversary with, I believe, the largest number of children, over 80, on the platform, taking over from his father, who had done it in past years. Peter played the organ, and Kath, Renee and Stan were in the choir. David first saw Jane after a church service at Zor Methodist, when he was just a teenager, and he decided then that he was going to marry her. And they did get married at St Paul's in 1973, and after alternating between churches, decided to settle and bring up their own family there. we grew up with life other than school, dominated by church activities, particularly more so perhaps when we all moved into Catholic Lane shortly before Chris was born in 1980 to live with Nanny and Grandpa Hooley. On a Sunday, we would all go to church in the morning, Sunday school in the afternoon, and Pa, along with Nanny and Grandpa, would then go back down for the evening service to play the organ. Then, of course, there would be the prayer meeting on a Monday evening, the ladies' class on a Wednesday afternoon, and the Bible class on Wednesday evening. It was at the ladies' class in March 2000 that Nanny Hooley chatted with her friends of many years about being ready for the Lord to take her at any time. And he did, that very evening, after collapsing and never regaining consciousness in the church and class that she was dedicated to for a lifetime, playing piano and speaking. Ma and Pa led the Sunday school throughout our childhood and teens, dropping off the Sedgley children afterwards until we renamed it Footprints. It was moved to Friday nights and I took over for several years. Sunday school anniversaries were a massive feature in the St Paul's year in our childhood, teens and early 20s, where we were heavily involved in the music. Pa arranged all the music for children, choir and various instruments, and played organ, keyboards, piano and sang. Ma conducted and sang. John played French horn and sang. I sang. Chris sang. We have many happy memories of going on anniversary trips to Drayton Manor most often, but I remember going to Blackpool and Gulliver's Kingdom, all organised by Muriel Woodall. Ma and Pa would be responsible for children other than their own three, as they did not always get accompanied by their own parents. Ma and Pa organised holiday clubs in the 6-week holidays, basically taking the Sunday school children in everybody's individual cars on day trips out, often Kimver sliding down banks on Lino, Dudley Leisure Centre Baths and other local destinations. Bonfires were held at Catholic Lane, either in Grandpa's fields or at the bottom of the garden. They organised the Christmas parties under the church, then at the Scout Hut on the Straits. We definitely had the real Father Christmas at our parties, not just one of his helpers. He has a strong black country accent, by the way. St Paul's Sunday School and leaders performed at Dudley Town Hall for a schools, children and young people themed Reclamation Roadshow in 1988 with a number of young solo singers. Music and harmonies were arranged by Pa, with the harmonies performed by Ma, Pa, Auntie Cynthia and Uncle Anthony. Despite early fears of the stage, Ma, though still uncomfortable, has frequently joined me in a duet, singing alto, and with Pa, Uncle Anthony and me in singing quartet for special church services. As a young mother, Ma would meet with the other young mothers and their preschool children in each other's homes, many years before a baby and toddler group started at St Paul's. More recently, of course, they've been back at the heart of the children's and youth work at St Paul's, quite unexpectedly in their retirement, with both of them at toddlers and Pa with the youth. They have also visited elderly church members over the years, and in recent times routinely telephoning them during lockdown. Pa has been in leadership in some form at St Paul's for the majority of his adult life, and must have sat in hundreds of meetings over the years, varying in nature. All this until retirement, while Pa worked as a secondary school music teacher, with many extracurricular activities, orchestra, choir, Christmas and summer concerts, musicals, accompanying children for their instrumental exams, as well as playing for weddings and funerals, along with the numerous rehearsals for all the above. Ma worked as a staff nurse on nights in a physically demanding stroke rehab ward, slept all day, got up, made tea for us all, and went back out to work. And of course, they were looking after 3 small, and then not so small children. We have often wondered how they fit it all in or maintained the energy to achieve so much, as I certainly have not managed to. Undoubtedly, they're very much a team. Even though Pa was the elder, Ma did an extraordinary amount of work, often behind the scenes with supporting Pa in his leadership role. They have talked about things and prayed through everything together, and there has been strength and support in that, in their marriage, in their family, and in God's work there at St. Paul's and beyond. They have proved the Bible passage in their long service to God and their marriage, from Ecclesiastes 4, that they gave to us at our engagement. 2 are better than 1, because they have good return for their work. With the passage finishing, a cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. The 3rd strand, of course, being God. Ma and Pa have been an example to us all, not only their children, but to many others who have spent many hours of their lives with Ma and Pa, in Sunday school, in church, at home, on holiday, so on and so forth. People have come to St. Paul's and grown to love the Lord because of the work and friendship of Jane and David Langford, our Ma and Pa. You may have heard the organ music in the background, and some of you will recognise it as the music that Pa often used to play at the end of anniversary services, at the end of other special services, and as the bride and groom came out of the vestry for their exit, including some of you who had first heard it at the anniversary. Fidor's Toccata must be quite special to our family, with it being played as Ma and Pa, John and Helena, and Dave and I exited our weddings. Pa was heard to say at the 1991 St. Paul's Centenary Musical Evening, where he should have performed it as requested by a member of the church, and due to timings was unable to, that he had never played it to an audience before, just to the back of people as they are leaving, and that it would have been most unnerving for him to play it in front of people. I felt it should be played at the end of this great long era for Ma and Pa as they come to the end of their service at St. Paul's, for the church family and the whole of our family who have been working for the Lord and worshipping in St. Paul's Church for 129 years. The recording is taken from that very musical evening, nearly 30 years ago, as Pa played whilst people mingled at the end, and actually, possibly for the first time and last time, received a round of applause at the end. And I applaud you, Ma and Pa, and thank God for all that he has done through you both throughout the years at St. Paul's Church, Lower Gornal.